this video, we're going to be going through 5 different tips on how to keep a yoga habit. So if you've fallen off the bandwagon a few times trying to implement a new healthy regime, then these tips will help you. I'm Jackie Gith and I'm all about amplifying your energy so you can wake up with enthusiasm without relying on coffee or hitting burnout. If you are looking at up-leveling your energy to feel more confident and agile, then make sure you subscribe below to tune into more videos like this one. It's not enough to just have an intention to do more yoga. We need to realize that we are human beings which are habitual creatures. So without knowing how to make a habit stick, it's most likely that you'll fall back into your lifestyle without it. Studies have shown that 40% of the things we do during the day are habits. So we like to think that we have control of what we do, but really it's our habits that control us. I use these methods every time I want to integrate a new habit into my lifestyle. Now that doesn't mean every habit that I take on I keep forever, because I then consciously reflect and see if it serves my life, and if it doesn't, then I'll change it again, maybe tweak it a little bit, or I will remove it entirely. So first and foremost, step number 1. We want to make sure that you know why you want to take on a yoga habit. Now, should is not enough. So if you're thinking, oh, because I should, no, it's not going to work. You need to figure out why it is that you want to do yoga. How is it benefiting you? What's the drive in you to want to do it? Maybe you have an aspiration to be healthier. Maybe you want to be more fit and strong. Maybe you want to calm your mind. Whatever it is, figure it out. Write it out into a piece of paper. I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen. Remember those. Write down why. Why do I want to start a yoga habit? Why do I want to be more regular with the practice? Write down whatever comes first to mind. Don't think about it too much, just whatever comes out of you first. That is a good answer. And then look at that and reflect again, like, why do I want that? So then if it's a simple answer like, oh, because I want to be healthier. Why do you want to be healthier? Like, yes, obviously health is important so you don't get sick and maybe even potentially cark it. But what are the things you're going to be able to do when you do feel healthier? So really visualize it. Find like 3 reasons why you would want to be healthier or fitter or calm your mind. Maybe if you want to calm your mind, so then you're better at work, so you can pay more attention and be more present with your family, so you can just feel more at ease for your own mental clarity. So I want you to ask the question, find out what comes out first, just listen to your body, listen to the first thought, and then nut that down a little bit more to visualize why you want that. The reason I want you to do this is because we can get sucked into just things that people are throwing around that we should be doing, right? And I used to be a sucker for this because I was a big people pleaser. I just really wanted people to like me. It's normal. Like, you want to fit in, you want to be a part of a tribe, you want to not be the outcast. So you don't want to be too weird and abnormal. But the point is, you need to know why you're doing things. If you're just following along with whatever everyone else is saying and just because, it's not going to drive you and you're not going to stick to it. Step number 2, time. When? So this falls under a category where we're setting up cues to make you, your brain trigger the action to do yoga then, to take on this new habit. So how can you commit to a time? Now, as a new mum now, I used to put in a specific time. So I would say Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. I practice for an hour. And that really worked because I was quite consistent with it. And it was always in my calendar and I was like, yep, there's my yoga, awesome. Or I would commit to 2 classes in a studio a week. 2 classes that were non-negotiable, and I could add extras if I really wanted to. If I had some extra time that week, I could go to another class. But 2 were non-negotiable. Okay, set up 2 specific times that you will practice yoga. It doesn't have to be every day. We always think that we have to do it daily, but you don't have to. You can just stick to it twice a week, and it'll still have immense benefits to your life. Now, as a new mum, that's a little harder because my little bub, he tells me when he needs me. Anytime, right? So it's hard to set up things in the calendar specific to time when I don't have a babysitter around. I mean, maybe that's an option. You book in a babysitter, so then you have to go at that time anyway, if that's available to you. But what I do now instead is I link it to another habit that I already do. So for example, I'll take out our dog Sushi for a wee every morning upon waking, because she needs to get out and she needs to pee. She sleeps inside. So then while she's out there in the yard doing a little bit of roaming and my bub's still asleep, then I do a few stretches. I have this flow that I really like. You do 5 poses to wake up the value channels in your body, but that's one of my go-tos, and I do that every single morning because I've linked it to the habit of taking Sushi out for a wee. Maybe you want to link it to brushing your teeth. Everyone brushes their teeth, so maybe just after you've brushed your teeth, you do yoga for 10 minutes. I forgot to mention, so if you do need some assistance and want to build your own yoga flow, you can always jump in the link below to book a session with me. Number 3, start small. You don't need to commit to a whole hour. If you want to start and making it a daily thing, then start by rolling out your yoga mat after you've brushed your teeth. That's it. And then you can put it away again if you don't feel like doing it. Literally roll out so make sure your yoga mat is near where you've brushed your teeth, so you remember to roll it out, okay? The next day, maybe you can roll it out and do a downward dog, a simple pose. And then that's it. You can roll it back up and go to bed. You just add a little bit each time, okay? Or maybe even just do that small first 2 minutes for a whole week, and then add another 2 minutes and keep going into a longer practice. Because starting is the hardest part. Once we've started, we can just keep going. Especially when we start to feel the benefit of it while we're doing it. Because that's a lot of the times what happens with exercise. We're like, oh, but I'm so tired and I can't do it. But then normally after the exercise, you're like, woo, my sweat is gold and I feel fabulous. Tip number 4, which I already mentioned briefly, make it obvious. So removing all frictions to do this habit. And that includes removing distractions. So let's rewind a little bit. Make it obvious. Put the yoga mat somewhere where you walk past every single day, especially at the time that you choose to do it. So if you do wake up and you want to then go to class, make sure it's by your door when you walk out. Or maybe even lay it on your nightstand. So when you wake up, it's the first thing you see and you go, oh yeah, okay, I'll roll out my mat and I'll start doing yoga. Maybe you even, I'm just giving you options here. You pick what you want to do because your home is your home. Everyone's home's different and you just need to make it obvious for you. So if you have a space that you walk into every day and you can lay out the yoga mat and keep it there, fabulous. That triggers it. That's what I do. I leave it out so then I don't even have to roll it out. And then whenever I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, and I do a quick flow and I feel fabulous. Now, there's a little caveat to that. You also need to remove distractions. Add friction. So if you tend to, instead of practicing the yoga in the evening, watch TV, hide your TV remote. Or even better, hide your TV. Like remove it. Put it in the cupboard. Every time you want to watch something, you need to take it out of the cupboard, plug it back in. I bet you won't be watching that much TV anymore. There are ways that you can remove and make it harder to not do the things that you don't want to do anymore. If they're taking you away from what you do want to do. Whatever it is, I want you to write those 2 things down now. Like, where can you put the yoga mat to trigger you to start? How can you make it easier for yourself? Write that down. And then put it there. The second part of this, what can you remove? What do you know that takes you away from the time that you could be dedicating to yoga that you end up doing? Maybe it's scrolling social media. Delete the apps. Like, get rid of them. Don't even, remove it. Or you download one of those blockers. So I don't have an app to block other apps, but I did find a setting in the Samsung phones. Not sure about iPhone, but I'm a Samsung girl, so I'm just going to show you quickly. You go into the settings and it's called Digital Wellbeing and Parental Controls. Not sure if you can see that there, this one. And if you jump in there, then it allows you to like set times for how long you've been on all day. And you can also set like focus times and Instagram. See, I've maxed out Instagram already. And then it grays it out for you. So you can't actually go on it. It's grayed out. Like if I try to click on that, it's not going to let me. It gives me a warning that I've used my time. See that? So cool. And it makes you more aware of how much you're actually spending on those apps then. Or maybe even when you come home, if you're doing it in the evenings, make a boundary to not touch your phone. If you don't need to be contacting anyone, just don't even go on the phone. That'll avoid you from having socials. You can focus more on your family and then brush your teeth and do your yoga. Boom. Step number 5. We're almost there. Normalize it. Make it really normal for you and your brain and your surroundings to be doing yoga every day or as frequent as you want in the week. So maybe you do join an actual studio and then you're around those people and you make friends with them. I mean, that's a little bit of a lengthier progress. Other ways you could do it is by maybe following some people that practice it regularly, looking up to them. Just unfollow all the rest. So then whenever you do go on socials, all you see is yoga and you're like, oh yeah, maybe I should go do my yoga. And also use language around this to normalize it for yourself. One of the biggest fears, I'm just going to take a little sideways diverge here a little bit. Stick with me. One of the biggest fears is public speaking. A survey was done where it ranked higher than death. So people are so afraid of public speaking, and there's multiple courses you can do to sort of overcome that. The reason I talk about this is because why do people have fear of public speaking? And it comes down to judgment. They're afraid of what people are going to think of them. They're afraid of standing there, not knowing what to say, and people judging them because they're all eyes on them, right? Guess what? Most people are thinking about themselves and worried about what everyone else is thinking about them. If you've ever seen or heard about the nurse who interviewed the people that were on their deathbed, that's one of the biggest regrets people have at the end of their life. It went something like, I'm paraphrasing, that they wished they had the courage to live a life that they wanted and not what was expected of them from others. Wow! So let's just think about this. Normalizing means you normalize what you want to do by bringing in other people around you that also do it, so then it becomes normal and you feel normal doing it. If it's always out of the square and out of the norm of what you're surrounding yourself by, then it's going to be harder to do. It's again one of those frictions that's getting in the way of you sticking to it and doing it. I hope these tips help you out, and do jump below. There is going to be a PDF where you can see the steps laid out and go do them. So implement them into your life and see how you go. Let me know below how it works as well for you. So comment down below once you've implemented them for a week. Now, one of the biggest rules, I'll just tag on to the end here, is to stick with it for 3 weeks. Okay, see if you can implement these tactics and techniques for 3 weeks, and if it's working for you, do it for 90 days. So it's a 21-90 rule, and that way it'll become a part of you. It'll become a part of your routine. Okay, now go do yoga. If you do want a little bit more help with this, I can jump on a one-on-one call with you. So again, down below there'll be a link for that if you want to register, have a chat with me. I am a real person and I'd love to help you overcome blocks that might be getting in the way of you having a healthier life and feeling vibrant and energetic. So remember, as always, be your body's own best friend. Sushi. Wait.